Good evening from Idaho. Thank you for tuning into channel 123 for your daily dose of Rivera Comics news. We aren't Marvel or DC because we are broke. I am your host Eric Ginsberg and welcome to this very special broadcast. Tonight we have with us a very special guest. We have the man, the myth, the legend, Batman. Hold on. Yes? Okay. Oh, sorry folks, I have been informed we are not legally allowed to mention that superhero as he is not within our budget. We actually have with us today the man behind the cultural phenomenon Birdman, Riggan Thomson.
Hey Eric, thanks for having me on the show.
That is great, Mr. Thomson. I'm a huge fan of your work on Birdman, but we are not here to discuss that today. Today we are discussing your upcoming opening night of your Broadway rendition of Raymond Carver's What We Talk About When We Talk About Love. So first off, let me ask you, Riggan, why go on to Broadway? You had a pretty successful acting career as the Birdman.
Batman. I'm glad that you asked that. Success to me is not about the money or even the fame. It is about the legacy I'm going to leave behind. I don't want to be remembered as the man in a bird costume. I want to be something more, something better.
Now that is very interesting. We actually have a source that tells us that you and your co-actor, Mike Shiner, who could get a little angry at times. We actually have a clip we'd like to share.
Hulk! Smash!
Now, following that interesting first night preview, how did you and Mike make ends after the little, let's say, outbreak Mike had on the stage?
Let me tell you, Eric, Mike is a very interesting person. He takes his acting, well, let's just say becomes fully invested in his roles. He's a very good actor and is very involved, but sometimes he could take things a bit too far. But I don't have to like the guy. In fact, I don't like him at all. I find him to be a very annoying pain in my side. But if the job gets done tomorrow and the show's a success, that outweighs the thorn he is.
Now that is a very interesting take, Mr. Thomson. Now during last night's preview, there was a little change in the script where you entered the theater before Ed's death from the front of the hall. Why this sudden change in direction from your first night's preview?
There was a little incident backstage before that scene where I had to get out for some fresh air. I ended up being locked out of the theater, but as they say, the show must go on. The resulting product was because of my will to create a show that will leave the audience something to remember. The show is the most important thing. My life's legacy is based on the success of this show and only this show.
Ha! The show must go on. I like it. But Mr. Thomson, you will always be given the status of a celebrity tied to Birdman, just as Robert Downey Jr. will be tied to Iron Man. Do you want to be separated from the Birdman, or is this just the next step in your illustrious career?
Well, Eric, if I really wanted to, I could make more Birdman movies and make multi-millions of dollars. But they don't give the legacy I want to leave behind. Because of my work, my relationship with my daughter was shattered. She never had her father in her life. And now I'm trying to leave behind that I am more than just the Birdman. I want to be remembered for being a successful actor who has a legacy.
Now that is very interesting, Mr. Thomson. I think we have time for one more question. If you would like to be remembered for anything by these people, what would you like to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered for being an actor who made an impact on this theater industry. You see, Eric, there's a stigma given to people who succumb to the popularity of the superhero movie genre. Robert Downey Jr. will never be separated from Iron Man. And Chris Evans, well, he'll always be Captain America. Or in some cases, the Human Torch, of course. I don't want that association. I very much care how people feel about me. I want to be seen as the guy who spread himself to other aspects of acting, not just superheroes. This play is my way of expanding the horizons and changing people's perspective of me.
Well, Mr. Thomson, even if this show fails tomorrow, action movie fans everywhere will always remember you for being second to just about every other Marvel character. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us, Mr. Thomson.
Of course, Eric. Take care.
And to our viewers at home, you can see Riggan Thomson in his rendition of Raymond Carver's What You Talk About When You Talk About Love for opening night tomorrow at St. Joseph's Theater in New York. Signing off for now for Rivera Comics, where we don't give interviews on the known actors because we can't afford them. Have a good night from our studio here in Idaho. This broadcast is sponsored by Kaleidoscope Literary Magazine, providing the best Marlboro students has to offer in the artistic literary world since before you were born.